Welcome to episode 2 of The Show with No Name. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Mackenzie Thirkill, and I'm the one who hosts this little shindig. But first, before we get into introducing our guests and going over today's topics, I want to thank everyone for giving us your feedback on our first episode. Trust me when I say this, I read every single comment. But as we go forward, I do want to address some things. One, we do plan on having coaches and players in the future for these episodes to get their feedback on games in the season in general, but also we plan on doing these bi-weekly for those of you asking for how often we will be doing those. And also we're going to be doing different segments. If you don't like it, if you love it, tell us. We want this to be for you, so we plan on developing this organically. Also, make sure you stay tuned this episode because we will be giving you a discount code, I guess you could say, to get some free swag for the holidays. But for now, let's get into today's episode and I will introduce you to today's guests. First off, we have John Rollins, aka Johnny Merch.
Hello, how you doing?
And also Rafa Cabrera.
Hello, hello.
Thanks
Pleasure.
for joining us today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
Now, we always start the episode by asking what we all have in common. So what do we all have in common?
We all...
I
can't think of anything that we all have in common.
we work for London City right now.
Well, yeah, that's true.
We're proud of working here.
Are we all wearing blue currently?
You're wearing purple.
Well, I'm wearing blue jeans. Does that count? No? All right.
No.
But I think that I don't have really a lot in common with Jay Merch for sure.
We have nothing
So you
in
can
common.
see, yeah.
We both like soccer. We
Yeah,
work for a soccer
that's
team.
okay.
That's
Okay.
what we have
And
in
we're both
common.
Chelsea fans. So.
No, we're not Chelsea fans. Take that off the record.
Okay, well, to be a little bit more specific, we do all work for the club, but we all work in the front office, which is obviously...
I see where you're going now.
I know, creative, isn't it? Which is obviously where we're shooting today.
Yep.
So let's actually talk about the front office a little bit. People only really know the team going to games, to the stadium, but what are some things about the front office that people probably don't know?
Ooh, things about, okay, one big thing, which I think is a great feature of the Orlando City office, is that we have 2 kegs in the office that
Yes.
are always full of beer. So at the end of the day, when you've had a long one, you can just, instead of going home, you can just sit down and have a beer. in
And
the
we also
office
have
at your
wine.
desk, right? I mean, it motivates me to stay longer at work if I can have a beer.
They're always full of beer. Not at the end of the day. The next morning you gotta fill them up again. But
yeah, that's a cool feature.
Yeah.
I think what we have that I don't think a lot of people, or at least in Central Florida, have is a successful indoor soccer team like we do here. Orlando City C. OCC.
Oh!
OCC. We won XL Championship last year in Central Florida 5 times with an unbelievable squad. Danny Quesada, the legend and trader, Jamie Chen. We had a roster full of stars, so that's pretty cool.
You're gonna be making some off-season trades with it?
Yeah, we're working on that. Our
your
GM,
you got your TAM money
Danny
ready to go?
Pacquiao, Danny Quesada, but we call him Danny Pacquiao because he fights every game. He's making some moves, but definitely looking forward to next year.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good.
Now, John, I want to ask you specifically.
Sure.
You've been obviously with the club for
Many
many years.
Yeah.
How have you seen the front office change?
So much. It's really, before we came into this space, we were in a little office up in Winter Park it was right there at Orange or Orlando, and it was in a bank building, and we probably had max like 8 or 9 offices. And so coming here where we have a huge amount of offices, we got about 80 people working in this building, it's completely different, and it shows the lengths that we've grown to, that we're now too big for this space. So when we first moved in here, I was like, oh my God, look at all the room, like I can do anything. And now I'm like, oh, we need more space. So like you said, the move to the stadium is going to be amazing, but in that short amount of time, moving from Winter Park to here, in 2 or 3 years, we grew so much that we outgrew the space, and now we need a new one. And not only that, all the people that have come on between now since then. I mean, I remember when a department was 1 person, and now a department is 3 or 4 people, and that really shows we need more people to help us do the best job that we can. And we got so many things happening now with 3 teams and Lion Nation and a new stadium. Like, we need all the help we can get, for sure. It's going to be 2016 was busy, but I'm sure 2017 is going to be as busy, if not more busy.
Yep.
So it's great to see the office expanding as it has. I mean, it's inspiring for sure.
Yeah. Now, we're going to switch topics now. For, I think, almost any sports team, there's a lot of things the public doesn't know, whether it's from players, coaches, whoever. So I'm sure you guys have some secrets working here.
Yeah, you got a few secrets. Some I can tell you, some I probably can't tell you.
Fair enough.
But you know.
What are some secrets that you can share with the public?
Rafa, you got to go first on this one.
That I can share with the public.
He knows way too many secrets. He can't tell you half of them.
No, well, part of my role, I work a lot with the players, and it's just interesting for me to see these guys how they behave on a regular basis. When you go on the road, like every player they have their own things that they do. Like for example, on the airplanes or when we go on the bus, Rivas and Igita have their headphones on, and you can listen to their music from 5 miles away. They put salsa, and it's like extremely loud, and it's kind of funny. And like we have stuff like that for every player. Like MPG and Aja are best friends, and everywhere they go when on the road, when they're walking around the cities, you have the smallest guy on the team and the tallest guy on the team walking around, and it's like a cartoon. You see, like, oh.
Yeah.
And it's that those type of things are the secrets that I've seen and are pretty interesting. Like Nocherino and Kaká, every morning they drink their coffee the way they like it, specific. I don't know. They have their own thing going on, and they just go around the training facility and just mess around with every single one. You can hear them coming, and they're just screaming and making fun of people, and like.
I'm sure, especially Antonio.
Yeah. Oh, Antonio
He's so loud.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think something that is not really a secret is that all of these guys are actually really nice human beings. I don't think that's a secret to anyone because they are super down-to-earth people. Even you have the former player, World Player of the Year, FIFA World Player of the Year, and he's just like one of us. It's super humble, super cool people, and I think that's something that the front office does well here in getting those type of players in. But yeah, those are some of the things I've seen, and of course the OCC championship. It's secrets that people don't know about.
John.
Well, I got a couple merch secrets because that's mainly my world of merchandise. So
People like merch.
One of them is actually that. So when we first started here in Orlando back in 2011 was our first season, and for the whole of 2011 we played in a red Umbro kit, right? But we were actually supposed to play in a purple kit like we do now. But the problem was that when we started the team, we started so late in the year that the kit provider, Umbro, they didn't have enough purple material to make us a purple kit. So for that whole first season, we had to go with a red kit, and then we had to book that all in for the second kit. So people don't know that first year we were supposed to be purple as well, but we were actually red. So there's a little city secret for you. Another good merch secret for you is that the Manatees initiative that we do in April, that started back in 2012. The whole idea for that actually came up in about 45 minutes with me and James decided that we were just going to make a fun graphic and put the Manatee stuff on it, and we were like, oh, we'll just do this for April Fools, see how it goes. So that whole thing got done in about 45 minutes and got posted online. Not realizing that in 2 years later we were still going to be printing stuff with the same logo that we just randomly found on Google. So there's a little secret for you: is the Seacows logo was ripped off from somewhere else. But don't tell anybody that. But it's a great logo.
Hope someone's not watching and it's just gonna be like, hey,
it was a free website, right? Nobody owns it, but yeah, we didn't realize at the time how impactful the Manatee stuff was going to be, and so we just threw it together, and now I'm still printing that logo. Can you believe it?
It's popular.
2 years ago.
It's so popular.
And it's coming back next year. That's another secret for you. But well, I give away all the secrets. I didn't stop.
Now, John, you're also hiding another secret from us.
Am I?
Oh. I think you are. I
can't remember what the secret is.
I think we have an announcement in a month or two that I feel like
future secrets.
It's a future secret.
A future secret.
I'm psychic. I can see the future.
You have to let me know.
So this is kind of a secret, non-secret almost, because some people know about it, but a lot of people just don't realize. But we are actually going to have a brand new home jersey next season.
Woo!
And it's going to be, I gotta say, I've seen it, and it's really cool. It's going to be coming out in February, about a month out from the season.
Okay.
And it's really, really, really cool. So I encourage everybody to look out for that and make sure you buy your new jersey. But yeah, little known fact, we will have a new purple jersey next year.
Hey. day? Is there any details you can give us?
No details. I can't give you any. It will be purple. I'll give you that. How about that?
It'll be
It'll be
purple.
purple. Yeah.
That's some deep
Rest
insight
assured,
right there.
the jersey will be
good.
purple. Yeah, that's a great secret, I think.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's good.
Now, also earlier in the show, we talked about some free swag.
We
So
did.
since you're
yes.
a merch guy,
we
you gonna
have our
explain our free swag
we have
that we
our
have here?
special Christmas scarves that we're doing currently in the office.
Hey.
So
And these are like nice, thick,
these are really
crisp
thick
that's
woolen
nice.
ones.
Yeah.
They're like nice to wear. You know, if you're going back home, if you live somewhere that's not as hot as Florida, and going back home to see your family. So whoever watches the show and comes in tomorrow, the first two people who come to office tomorrow, and they tell us that Mackenzie kills it. Then that's one of the
Hey.
first. They come in the office and they say to the receptionist, Mackenzie kills it. They can win one of these scarves. And for anybody else who just wants to get their hands on one, if they come to the office and they spend $50, they get one for free anyway.
Sweet. Now,
So it's
usually
great.
I don't promote things on this show, but since it's the holidays, I'm in a giving mood, which is why we're giving away some scarves.
And also, because you kill it, right?
Obviously.
I kind of look like the bad guy now. I feel like I should be offering spots for
Where's
OCC
your
or
free
something.
stuff? Come on.
There you go.
Tryout coming up. Announcement is coming
We're
soon.
gonna have tryouts.
Tryouts are coming up.
Now, for our last topic of the day, the first time you ever came to Orlando, what was your impression of the city?
I mean, definitely the theme parks. I used to live in Venezuela in South America, and when I came, it was for the theme parks, and I had no idea there was something else aside from the theme parks, but it was a long time ago. And then obviously I moved here for UCF, and you start seeing all of this other half of the city that you've never seen before. And now when you start getting into Orlando City, it's like another world that you weren't aware of. And it's kind of cool actually to discover that part, and it's fun to see that a lot of people are actually aware of it now. And I think this club has embraced that other half of the city of Orlando. And I mean, and if it's really cool and amazing right now, I can imagine next year with the new stadium.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, I think Orlando is really defined about like where you live in Orlando. Like Rafa was saying, you know, there's a whole world of theme parks and tourists that go on down kind of I-Drive area that really for me is kind of like a subsect of Orlando. The real Orlando is the downtown Orlando and like the nice neighborhoods, you know, College Park, Winter Park. That's for me is where a lot of our fans, I feel like we appeal more to the people who live there than the people who are living, you know, and working down in tourist land. And because they maybe lacked a little bit of identity. Like when I first moved here, I think the city didn't really have that. Like it didn't have a team that they could get behind and feel like that was something they're proud of for the city. And I feel like we've come in and, you know, as much as we've done, you know, made efforts to be part of the community has embraced us entirely. Like we wouldn't be where we are today if the community hadn't taken us in so well and been so embracing and so, you know, accepting of a new soccer team in this town. And I think that it's really helped bring the town together in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
And have like a symbol to rally behind. So I think it's great. And I love living here. It's a beautiful. I didn't realize how many lakes there were in Orlando.
I feel like
I
that's
did not know
the common
that.
theme.
Everybody's just like, what? It's like you don't think lakes, Florida. It doesn't really. You don't put two and two
just think
together
ocean.
unless
Yeah,
you live
exactly.
here. I think two oceans, right? But then there's a lot of lakes.
There are a lot
They're
of
beautiful
lakes.
lakes.
They are. You can jet ski.
Yeah.
You can do all sorts of fun
Don't
stuff.
do that on Lake Eola though. Only swans on Lake Eola.
Yeah. We need to make the mascot a swan.
I vouched for that.
Did you really?
I did, but it got shot down sadly.
I
Or
said I-
Princess Eola was the other thing. She wears
No.
Lake Eola on her
I'm
crown
shutting
or
that
her
down.
head.
I am
no?
shutting that down
Princess
right now.
Eola?
Whoever said no to that, thank you.
I'm shutting that down.
This is why I work at Birch. See, I can't use other ideas.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming on today's show.
Thank you for
I know
having
I had to
us.
pull your teeth to get on here.
No, not at all.
So difficult.
It was a pleasure. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we had a great time.
I'm just kidding. But thanks again for joining us. And remember, you have a chance to win free swag, so make sure you do so. And we will see you next year.
Good.
Okay. I'm just gonna laugh this whole episode. It's gonna be terrible. Okay. Welcome to today's episode.